on Coyote Radio, right here, right now.
All right, and welcome to yet another edition of Lunchtime Live, coming to you from the campus of California State University, San Bernardino, and Coyote Radio. Our in-studio guest today is the band members of Dose of Adolescence from Rancho Cucamonga. We'll be playing their music for you, giving you a chance to find out a little bit about what the band's all about, what's in their future, and what brought them together. Here today on Lunchtime Live. Stay with us. Over the next hour, you're going to be hearing some phenomenal music as we bring you each and every week here on Lunchtime Live. And without further ado, we hand things over to Coyote Radio Music Director Stephen Kono. Stephen.
Thank you, Miss Lace. It is 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We are here with Dose of Adolescence. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
You guys showed up all early, so I'm doing great. First of all, I just want to go down like a line, just so you guys tell me your names and the instruments you guys jam out on.
Cool. My name is Jimmy, and I share the responsibility of singing with my younger brother.
My name's Timmy, and I play guitar and sing.
I'm Tyler. I play drums in Dose of Adolescence.
Alrighty, and then you guys have one missing member.
Roger's not here right now.
Yeah, Roger's out there grinding that work.
For the listeners, our listeners that may not know who Dose of Adolescence is, what do you guys consider like your genre of music?
Real.
Real.
Yeah. I think for us, we try not to call ourselves a genre. We just try and make sure that everything that we're doing is real. We're being honest with ourselves. We're being honest with our fans.
Not really
we're
trying to fit into anything.
Yeah, we're not trying to fit in anything. I mean, I guess when we started this band, we called ourselves a punk rock band, which by heart and moral, I still feel like we're a punk rock band because we try and kind of act in that manner, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess if anything, we're a punk rock band.
Okay.
I've heard everything from rock to
pop
punk, whatever, you know? It's just, for us, it's just real. I mean, that's what Dose of Adolescence means. It's about, because when you were a kid and you were young, before you learned to be fake and to lie and to let the world corrupt you, I mean, you were real. Like, you were having fun with your life and you smiled because you meant it. And for us, that's what this is. It's just about being real and being ourselves.
So you're saying that that's kind of like where Dose of Adolescence, like, where did you guys get the name Dose of Adolescence?
You know, we were all just kind of sitting around trying to figure it out. We had no idea. I mean, we were all younger. And it's just, we were all guys with good hearts that kind of like wanted to help people, and it just kind of came from that. And that's when you're the realest. When you're young, before you're jaded by all this stuff, before you think that money and cars are important and the way someone looks is important, and then you grow up into society and all of a sudden it's all about what somebody looks like or the type of clothes they're wearing and not the person that they are and the heart that they have and the things that they do in their life. It's just, it's sad, and it's getting worse in our society. So
like, when did you guys make the move that this was a hobby that you guys just jammed out on your instruments from, I want to make this to a hobby and now I want to make this a career, like I want to make this my lifestyle?
I think it kind of just was always that way for us. We never really looked at it as a hobby. Like, it's always been super fun, but we never really saw ourselves doing anything else, I don't think.
Yeah, for me, like, I'm a huge Blink-182 fan, and I was younger, and my brother and I went through different things when we were younger, and to see Mark Hoppus, dude, I'm like such a big fan of that guy. To see the smile on his face and how real it was with what he was doing for me, like when we started our band, I knew like I wanted to smile like that, and I knew that there was nothing else in my life.
The only way you could do is just play music.
I loved it so much. Like, once I got a taste of it and we did it, I was so in love with it that I knew then, for my brother and myself and Steve at the time, like, we all knew then that this is what we were going to do no matter what.
So I know you two are brothers.
Yeah.
How did you guys form the band, like, as a whole? Like, what went into actually picking a drummer, guitar player?
When, I mean, my brother might want to talk about this more because he was heavily into a lot of the things that happened back then.
Me and my best friend Steve kind of met at high school pretty much. Started jamming. We had a drummer at the time who wasn't super serious, and then like him and I got very serious about it, like we were the whole time. Just found a drummer, came up with the name, and just started going.
Yeah.
Started trying to play shows, recorded a first little 4-song demo over at Love Juice.
So how did you go about bringing in Jimmy and...
He was kind of there the whole time, and then after he saw us, like, going, that's when he, like, became really, really involved, and he started playing bass for us.
Yeah, originally I was the bass player in the band, and my brother was the singer.
Okay. And then what about Tyler?
Tyler has been in the band now for...
A little over a year.
Yeah, a little over a year.
Over a year.
We met him through a mutual friend about a year ago.
So the last album you guys came out with was last March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're actually going to get into the first song off that CD. It's going to be I'm Rad, You're Rad. It's been fun right here on Coyote Radio. Came out March of last year. How do you guys feel that your music has progressed from Memories Attack to back dating to like your first EP, which was what, Arcade Pop or Pop Arcade?
I think we've just gotten better. We've gotten better. We still write songs about real life situations. We still try and be as honest as we can. I think we've just gotten better at what we do over time, and I mean, with that, your music's going to evolve.
Yeah, so, like lyrically and instrumentally. Like,
oh yeah, I've gotten so much better at the lyric writing and us putting the songs together and the structure and stuff like that. You just get better. I mean, if you keep doing something and you're passionate about it, you're going to get better at it, and you're going to keep getting better at it. And it's like a little kid to you.
So how does your music? Okay, you have jam sessions.
Kind of, yeah.
Yep.
How does your practicing or making a song start out? Like, does a song come first? Do you write lyrics and then try to make music to the lyrics?
It kind of varies. Usually me and Roger, our bass player that's not here today, we kind of jam out together, put songs together, try to get them like in actual form.
Yeah.
But sometimes Jimmy could write some lyrics and then he could say like, oh, I kind of want like this type of a feel.
Yeah.
And just go with it. It's different every time. It's usually me and Roger jamming, getting something together, and then we have Tybo come over, start getting the drum work done.
Yeah, it's just a big compromise. I mean, there has to be no egos involved, and everybody love what they're doing, and we all have to have the same common goal, writing great music.
Yeah, so you're the one that writes the lyrics.
For the most part, my brother does too. It just depends. Like, if he has a song that he wants to write, and say he writes a song and he's got all this stuff put together, he'll save me the verses or he'll save me the choruses so that I can come in and actually put my own feel to it. But it's compromise, man. It's a relationship, and
we help each other too with the lyrics. I try not to write too many lyrics now because that's kind of like his deal.
So how has that changed? I mean, from when the band first started, like, what is the inspiration behind your lyrics now compared to?
Honestly, like, the inspiration for us has always been like what we've tried, and what it kind of has always been is just like real life situations. Like, everything you hear us like singing about is something that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And it just kind of comes. We don't ever sit down and like try to write out certain things or anything like that about a certain subject.
I feel like a lot of the things that I wrote on Memories Attack had to do with our guitar player that passed away, Steve. Like, it was a big deal for us. It was.
Yeah, I think pretty much every song on that record has a little bit.
Everything that's not because there are some rewrites on that song that we wrote with Steve. I mean, on the record that we wrote with Steve, we rewrote them so that he would still be a part of the recording process with us. But I feel like all the new stuff that I wrote, there's a lot that had to do with the loss of him. Okay,
I'm actually going to stop you right there. We're going to get into a break. When we come back, we're going to get into a little bit more about Steve Madigan.
Yes, sir.
And right here on Coyote Radio. Right before the break, we got into pretty much your inspiration behind lyrics. But we didn't get into so much your inspiration behind the band and what makes you guys keep going. Steve Madigan, your guys' a really good friend, member of the band, passed away.
Yeah.
Can you get into more about what his impact on you guys as a band?
I know that he keeps us strong and keeps us going every day. We miss him. Like, that was the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life. I still like get very like sad about it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to, but he makes us keep going. He's there. He was always by our side. He always like one of the hardest working people I've ever known in my life, and just one of the nicest, most humble, down to earth people in the world.
And he was actually one of the original founders.
Him and I started this band. Yeah.
It's just, for me, the way that I look at it every day, every time that I feel like it's getting too hard or I feel like I can't keep going, I remember where we were, like, right before he passed away. We were all getting ready to move away, to move to where our cost of living would be less expensive so that we could all move into a house together, and this is what we were going to do for the rest of our lives. And every time I think about that I can't keep going on, I think about if he was here, the way that he would still be going with us. And that just, I'm fighting for two people. And I can't give that fight up.
Mm-hmm. So how many years has it been since you guys lost?
September 3rd coming up will be the 6th year anniversary.
6th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have made a lot of progress. I mean, I'm guessing that's a main reason.
Yeah.
That
we promised we would make sure the world heard his music.
Yeah, it was a definite fight, and we were definitely serious before. But that morning, like, to hear one of your best friends has turned the corner, and it's only a matter of time before they go home after coming back from some of the most insane injuries you could ever think of, and then for it all to just fall apart, like, it changes something in you.
I bet. Pleasure Is All Mine, another song off Memories Attack. Can you give a little insight to our listeners about what this song is about?
I wrote that song a few years ago. It is about a girl that I had a relationship with that no longer is existent.
Alright. We're actually going to get into Pleasure Is All Mine off Memories Attack right here on Coyote Radio. So Steve Madigan was a really big inspiration for you guys as a band. What are your guys' individual inspirations as music goes? As far, like, what do you guys listen to or made you guys want to play this style of music?
Like I said earlier, for me, like, I mean, Blink was huge early on in, like, what I was listening to and what kind of music I wanted to play. Like I said, Mark Hoppus, just to see that guy was having so much fun, and he was loving his life and just enjoying it. For me, it had everything to do with it in the beginning. And, I mean, the band that I'm listening to at the time changes a lot, but for me it's just always about life. Like, it's my way to talk about what I have to say without completely telling everybody what's going on, you know? So,
yeah, like, Blink got me into punk when I was like 13. I heard Dude Ranch, and I loved it.
Nice.
I was like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I just kept finding more and more bands. Like, my favorite band of all time is Strung Out. I just love that band. And I listened to, like, NoFX, Rancid. Even used to listen to a little Op Ivy. You know.
You go way back.
Yeah. And, I mean, I like harder stuff. I like Under Oath. I like all kinds of bands. Like, anything, as long as there's talent behind it. Like, even one of my favorite songs lately has been that CeeLo song. You know?
Yeah.
Tyler?
It was funny, like, when I met these guys, the bands that they had, like, mentioned that they were, like, kind of influenced by and stuff, and I was like, whoa, they were, like, kind of naming, like, everything that I had, like, listened to and bands that I had been in, and, like, at one time I kind of listened to a bunch of, like, old school punk rock, because I thought I was, like, little grunge dude or whatever, you know, but pretty much, like, me, like, I always loved, like, fast, heartfelt, aggressive, like, kind of, you know, music. I loved, like, seeing bands, like, you know, that had just such passion on stage and just had crowds involved, and just, like, when I seen that, like, I definitely always wanted to be a part of that and just, you know, be able to say something and have a statement, you know, and be able to play, so.
And you said you joined the band almost a year ago now?
A little over a year.
Yeah.
Dose of Adolescence has pretty much been an established band in the Inland Empire. How did that impact you coming into a band that's already been together for 9 years?
I definitely, for them to give me the opportunity to even play with them, I was definitely very, like, you know, like, grateful, obviously. You know, I was like, wow, you know, these guys gave me a chance. When I actually went in to just play with them, I didn't think I would have anything to do with them after that. I just was like, given the opportunity, I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll just do it. You know, it's something I want to do. They've been playing for a long time. Like, if it happens, cool. If not, it doesn't. You know, that's kind of like how I went in and had it. And, you know, just talking with them and stuff, they felt my heart and, you know, the passion that I had about it and stuff like that. And I think that kind of, you know, just had a lot, you know, and then just the relationship we've been able to build and to be so close in such short time, you know, is definitely something that just even pushes me even more to, you know.
Was there any pressure coming into a band?
Oh, man. Yeah.
If there wasn't, I made sure there was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, my first show that I ever played with them was the biggest show that I've ever played, ever. And so, like, something like that was definitely, like, I felt it, like, and I was just, like, was so consumed, like, wow, man, like,
this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to be.
Do, like, you know, like, whoa, like, I just can't believe it, like, whatever. So it was cool. And just, you know, how humble they've always been, and that's just, you know, that's everything that they have instilled in them is definitely what I have instilled in me, and we all have, like, the same goal and the same passion, and that's what keeps me going. I think what, you know, made this relationship as strong as it is. So.
Well, speaking of being humble, before you guys got here, I got a call from a girl that works here at the parking services by Alina Castro, and immediately saying, the band that you have on today is an amazing group of guys, and they just gave me free t-shirt, and probably one of the coolest guys that she's even come across to. I mean, and then you came in here giving us t-shirts and being the most down-to-earth guys that I have ever personally been in here. Can you give us a little background of these t-shirts? Because there is a story.
Yeah. Basically, what these t-shirts are, what we're doing, we're calling it the Love Not Money movement, because I'm telling you right now it is a movement, and it will be something that the whole world will know about in a short period of time. Our band was very fortunate this year. I work with an organization called Hands On International, and they're based out of Long Beach, California, and they basically, Hands On just basically helps where help is needed. They help low-income families and homeless. Like, my brother and I, we go down, we try and make it down every Sunday, and we cook breakfast for the homeless at a park in Long Beach. And we were very fortunate to be donated some t-shirts by Hands On. And for me, when they were donated, I told them that I would print on them and I would still give them away for free. The idea just kept progressing from there, because I knew that this donation that we were getting was such a huge thing that I had to help them in some other way. And we have a design of a t-shirt that we've had the design done for probably 3.5 years. And what the design says is that it's love, not money, that makes the world go round. That's a line from one of our old songs that our guitar player, Stephen Madigan, he wrote, and he sings it on the song. And the line comes from a song called Hopefully We Can Open Our Eyes Before the Day We Die. So the end result, what we've come up with, what we're going to do with these shirts shortly here, we're going to be selling them. We're going to be filming a documentary in the next 2 weeks basically explaining how to buy the shirts, where you're going to be able to get them, and what they stand for and what it's all about. We're basically going to be selling the shirts, and all of the proceeds are going to be going to Hands On International to basically help where help's needed, because I promise you I've learned the hard way that it's love, not money, that makes the world go round. It's such a true statement, and in our day and age, it is something that has become so lost, it makes me sick to my stomach. Everything around us is so about greed and what can you do for me? You can't walk by someone on the street anymore and say, hey, what's up? How are you?
Yeah, they think you want
what do you
something.
do?
Exactly.
What do you do? What do you want from me? Like, it's just trying to just spread a little love, man. Just
So who came up with the do you guys pick that lyric because of Steve Madigan and what he means?
Yes. We have a very, very good friend. One of my best friends, his name's Neil.
Very close friend of Steve's as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neil Favula. And when Steve passed away, Neil and I hadn't become very close friends yet. We knew each other because of Steve. Everyone had all of these mixed emotions about what we should be doing. Are you going to keep the band name the same? Are you guys going to keep going? What are you going to do? And Neil was the first person. He walked up to me, and the first thing he said was, you know what you have to do. And from there, our relationship has become insane. And the design was something that Neil just kind of put together and came up with, like, and showed it to me. I didn't ask him for it. It just kind of happened, and we've created this working relationship with Neil and our band since then, and it's kind of a perfect example. You know, we took photos with Neil yesterday, and it's just how it works. It's a love, not money thing.
Alrighty. After the break, we're going to get into a little bit more about the shirts, the designs, if there's any more coming out, any more merch, hats, whatnot. But first, we're going to take a break. You are listening to Coyote Radio, Lunchtime Live, and we are here with Dose of Adolescence. We are back, and right before the break, we got into the Love Not Money movement.
It's a movement.
It is going to be a massive movement, and I'm part of it now because I'm definitely rocking that shirt.
Yeah. Part of the army, man.
So you guys saying this is the only design that'll be on T-shirts?
Yeah, this will be the only design. I mean, it hasn't really gone any further than that, but I'm not saying that it won't.
6 years ago, you guys played South by Southwest.
Yeah.
How did you guys go about? And for those of you who don't know, South by Southwest is basically an independent music festival that pretty much tells you who's coming up and what's next.
Yeah, if you're playing there, you're coming up. We just got lucky a couple times and went out there. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and my view on it now compared to what it was then when we played it is completely different because my view of the music industry is completely different.
Okay.
But it's a great thing. It's 2 streets just packed with bands. You can go in and out of every bar, every venue, and only stay for 10 to 15 minutes, and you still won't even come close to catching every band. So it's like, it's the raddest thing in the world. And the street's just full of music lovers and everybody just having a good time. If you ever have the time to...
They completely shut down 6th Street.
and 7th. Do they shut down 7th or no?
I don't know. I know 6th Street is like the main street that runs through downtown Austin.
Uh-huh.
And it's shut down for a week. There's thousands of kids and anyone you can think of just walking the streets, dude.
That sounds
bands,
cool.
There's bands inside, there's bands outside. It's like one of the funnest. It's definitely one of the funnest things I've ever done. Like, you can see all kinds of different music. There's different kinds of food. It's just a big like festival event. It's crazy.
So how did you guys get linked up with South by Southwest?
Our buddy Eddie, that kind of helped manage us for a while, got us on that first one, the one 6 years ago.
He actually got us on
stage
both.
we played. Did he?
He got us on
he
both.
did. He got us on both of them.
He used to work for Fearless Records.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has
definitely
he has a lot of
that record
contacts
company,
and stuff like that. So
that's really awesome. I mean, South by Southwest. I saw that. I was like, dang, these dudes are in business. Like South by Southwest. A friend of mine is actually playing South by Southwest. Actually, like right now.
Yeah, it's going
as
on
we
right
speak.
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
The next song off that we are going to get into is 1200 or Flight 1200 Departed. On the last CD, you guys had Flight 1200.
Yeah.
Can you
kind of just rearranged it.
It's a rewrite. It's one of the things how I was saying how we wanted to rewrite some songs to make it feel like Steve was still a part of this new recording process.
Okay.
We basically just built the song from what it was. It's the same song. Some lyrics have changed. Some arrangement has changed, but it's the same song, the same meaning, the same thing behind it.
Well, without further ado, this is Flight 1200 Departed by Dose of Adolescence right here on Coyote Radio. So we just got out of how you guys got into South by Southwest. Mm-hmm. Now, last year you guys played, 80% of Warped Tour?
I would say like 75% of Warped Tour.
77.
Give or
Yeah.
take.
Okay.
Yeah. 76,
good
who
amount,
knows?
for
Yeah.
sure.
A lot of shows. A lot of shows.
Now, there's definitely an awesome story behind that
Yeah.
that you guys had to explain to me.
Yeah. I'll explain it. Basically, I don't recommend any band ever doing this because it's not the right way to do it, and
They really don't like it.
They really don't like it, to be honest, and it is very disrespectful to what they're doing. And now looking at it from where I'm standing now, I get that. But basically, what we did is we went out and we were going to hustle and sell CDs at Warped Tour to the kids in line. But when we left, we had done it. We had done it in prior years, and we did well. And it was basically just hand-to-hand combat, going up to kids, listening to our band, selling CDs. This last year when I went out, and I said that before the end, we were going to play somehow. We were going to play. By the 4th day, we got to Arizona, and I saw Kevin Lyman, which founded Warped Tour, owns Warped Tour. He was in the parking lot, and I walked up, and I said, "Hey, Kevin, there's normally bands that are playing in front of the line. Why not this year?" And he said that they didn't show up. And I said, "Well, are you opposed to a band doing it?" And he said, "No." I was like, "Can we do it?" He said, "If you guys can do it and stay out of the way, go for it." So that day in Arizona, we basically stayed out in the sun as long as we could. We sold enough CDs to go to Walmart and buy a generator, and as of New Mexico the next day, we fired up the generator and started playing. And we basically played. We played every day that it didn't rain, and we got the great opportunity to go to it's called an EIY meetup, which is earn it yourself, basically from DIY, do it yourself. And we got to learn so much about the music industry and just so many different valuable things from Kevin, from our friend named Sarah Saturday that runs EIY, Martin Atkins, he wrote the book Tour Smart. Like, just great people and different managers and booking agents and all kinds of people at these meetings every day. And it just gave us such an insight to what we're doing. So now we don't not only have the hard work behind it, we have all this insight about what's going on. So
that was last year. That was 2010, though.
Yeah. That was
what
2010.
does Dose of Adolescence have planned for 2011 in the future?
Money. Love, not money.
Pretty much.
Yeah, love, not money. And I have a lot of different things planned out that aren't for sure yet. But we have basically the next year or so planned out, and we're really excited. One thing that I want to really work on is we did lose a guitar player to an alcohol-related accident, and for me, I need to help with that. I need to get into high schools and explain to these kids that it's serious, and do some non-drinking and driving stuff. That it's going to happen next year. I already have it. Yeah,
have some new music. For everybody after this summer. Maybe not right after summer, but just keep checking in with us. It'll be coming soon.
For sure. We're actually going to go into one more song called Fall Into This. You guys have a music video on your MySpace.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Our buddy Neil that did the design, that actually shoots photos for us, he put the video together as well. We're going to be shooting a music video with Neil coming up here shortly for our song called 85 to 06, which is about our good friend Stephen Madigan. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Sure. And after this song, we'll get into more where you guys are playing new music and whatnot. But right now, this is Fall Into This by Dose of Adolescence.
Into this with me. This word that's thrown around so loosely.
And that was Fall Into This, Dose of Adolescence. Now, if anyone else wants to know where the CD is at, find out any information on you guys, where do they go?
I got some fantastic news, because you can find that CD online for free. It's all downloadable for free on our Pure Volume. It's www.purevolume.com/doseofadolescence, Facebook.com/doseofadolescence, Twitter @DofABand, MySpace.
I appreciate you guys coming in.
No, man, thank you. Thank you guys all for having us. It's been great.
It's been another great episode of Lunchtime Live.